This video is called Dealing with Racism, Sexism, Ageism, and Income Inequality. Pretty heavy stuff, yeah? So how do you handle all the stimuli that we get out there on the road? Well, there's two choices. One is that you can use it to just harden your already existing beliefs, or you can be open to learning and exploring other people's point of view. So what I'm suggesting here is that being a driver, we have this beautiful gift. We're not just sitting on the couch in judgment of others. We are out there interacting with people of all different types, right? So what I'm going to do in this video is cover these four topics and share with you something that I've learned and incorporated into my life as a result, which has been a real gift for me. And I invite you to kind of ask yourselves, where are you with the topic, and what have you learned as a result of being a rideshare driver in regards to these topics? And then stick around at the end. I'm going to share with you what I think is our superpower, you and me, brothers and sisters, rideshare drivers, as a result of the work that we do. So all that and more coming right up. Hey everybody, it's Jay Crater with the RideShare Guy. Do love the cold brew. Do love the cold brew. All right, cool image there, yeah? Lots of colors on a hand, right? So by way of background, I lived a pretty sheltered life, I gotta say, until 2014. I had traveled to about, 15 or so countries, but it wasn't until I moved and lived in Thailand that I really felt like I had an experience of what it was like to be the other, to be a foreigner, right? I specifically remember being in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and I was like the only guy that looked like me, right? Everybody had dark skin, and I liked it. I actually liked it. I felt like I could kind of hide out, No one knew me, and I was different, but it taught me a lot of lessons, about this big world that we live in. So we're going to jump into four big topics, and I'm going to share with you a few things that I have learned as a result of being a driver. So let's jump in. Okay, so number one is confronting racism, right? So our country obviously has quite a history of racism. I would assert that it's still quite pervasive in our culture here. And the thing that I've discovered about myself is what's called implicit bias. And I realized that when I was driving around different neighborhoods, my body felt different things based on whether it was, this nationality versus that nationality. And it's just like this bias that I sort of have carried with me. And it really made me stop and question, why do I feel this? Is this irrational? Which in most cases it is irrational. And then different people get into my car, and we have these amazing conversations, and it doesn't matter what color anyone's skin is. So that was a pretty huge lesson where I really had to kind of fact check myself and where some of these feelings were coming from and were they valid feelings or not. And in most cases, they were not. Number two, confronting ageism. So I'm a 64-year-old guy. Suddenly everyone's calling me sir. And I see how the world kind of is starting to treat me a little bit differently. Now, I'm a pretty vital guy, so I'm not like, 80 years old and walking slow or anything like that. But I'm starting to notice that. And what I've learned when I had elderly people in my car is they carry a lot of wisdom. So rather than seeing them as old people that need to be put into a home, I'm seeing them as a source of great wisdom. And if you travel to other countries, especially in the East, in Thailand in particular, where I have some experience, the elderly are highly revered, right? Children work their whole life to provide for their mother and take care of their family. So family and the elderly, highly revered. and in this country, not so much. But if you've had a conversation with someone who's elderly, they can tell you things and share experiences and bring wisdom to your car like nobody else. So number 3 is confronting sexism. So what have I learned about this? Well, I've learned from many of my women passengers that male drivers, approach them, hit on them, and are real inappropriate in this professional environment with them. So what I've learned is to really be super vigilant to boundaries. And when I first started driving, I would ask people, so where do you work? What kind of work do you do? And, where do you live? And, just the normal kind of banter that I used to have with people, men and women. And what I learned was that's not so cool. I don't ask anybody, any woman, where does she work? I don't ask anything that could be construed as me prying into somebody's life, right? It's better for me to just share something about my life and then wait and see how engaged somebody wants to get with me. And so that's been really valuable. So I see the world through this whole different kind of lens of privacy and respect and less casual, so the boundaries are protected in my car, and I think women appreciate that. And, ultimately that can lead to a better tip. But the best thing is it provides a woman with a safe environment to just relax and chill and not worry about some creep up in the front seat, trying to ask her out or proposition her. Okay, and finally, confronting income inequality. So if you've been driving for a while, you definitely know you get some people that have money and some people that don't have money. And we get to experience all levels of income. I've taken people to their private jets, and I've taken people to a homeless shelter. So I've really, seen a lot, right? I remember I drove one guy, and he was like number 2 or 3 with one of the, big tech companies, probably worth, millions, if not, the big billion. And, and people who are homeless. So what I've learned is to have empathy for those that have less. I've had times in my life where I've had less, and I know how difficult that can be, how uncomfortable that can be, how the concern for your own physical safety at night can be. Not having a car to get around, not having the freedom to jump in your car and go someplace, not having the freedom to, go out and have a nice meal with a friend. So this has really taught me empathy, and that I'm no better than somebody who has less money, and somebody who has more money than me is no better than me. That's not how you demarcate who has value and who doesn't. So empathy is the big benefit from income inequality. So by way of key takeaways here, what's our superpower? Well, in a world where people have one side or another, in a world in which we're divided one side or the other, the true superpower is the person who can see both sides. And as drivers, that's our superpower, right? We've seen the beauty and the ugliness of people in our car. We've encountered a lot of different situations, a lot of different types of people. We don't sit on our couch and judge people. We're out in the trenches interacting with those people. And our superpower is that we can learn to see both sides. Sure, we have our own opinions, and really what difference does it make, You can feel one way or the other. Do you want to use your opinion to drive a wedge, with another human being? And I think we've all learned that's not what we want to do. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. This is Jay Crater with the RideShare Guy saying thank you for watching. Like it, subscribe to our channel. Go have a great day. Go out and tell someone you love them. I will see you out there on the road. Be safe. Take care. Bye for now.